Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Jay. I'm here with Bisayo. And this is The Zone, episode 4. It is the place where we talk about everything pop culture related. Anime, superheroes, Marvel, DC, video games, music. You want to come on and chill with us? We here. Today, we talking about J.Cole. And not just J.Cole as the rapper, because you only know he's goated. We're talking about his album that has been in the making for 10 years, which dropped February 6th of this year. And that is the Falloff. Now, personally, this album, I thought I think it's one of his most best told albums. That's just me. All right, we don't know what Bisayo thinks. We know what he thinks, but that's what we're here for. All right. If you have any feedback, if you have any opinions, put them down in the comments below. But right now, Bisayo, what did you think about the Falloff as a whole? First of all,
as a whole, I think it has a lot of great concepts. Because we did talk about this in pre-production as well.
we did.
But yeah, I'd say it has good concepts. I have two parts to me. As a fan, I really appreciate the album and what it means sequentially in terms of his career and everything. But as a creative, I feel like it left me wanting more as a rapper, because I felt like there was a lot of things he could have addressed on the album. But I also understand why it's just more of a personal album and completing the story arc that he had, because he did mention that. I feel like some better execution could have been put in some things, but the album started off really good, 2-6, even the old Western type intro that he went for, because him being from North Carolina, that really added to the backdrop of it. This felt like, an ode to Fayetteville, because he never had that, because with a Drake or Kendrick, they always had those type of records and stuff. Not to say he's not had that ode to where he's from, but they've always had those records that celebrate
where they're from,
being from Toronto, or being from Compton. So this was the album where he did that. So I really appreciated that. But yeah, again, execution. That's what I don't want to go into ratings so early, but as far as his catalog goes, this is a solid 7.5 to 8 for me. So
7.5. Okay. Me personally, I think this album definitely. I do agree with you with the execution though. I will say, I was going in expecting this could be a classic, right? Now don't get me wrong, the album itself is very good, right? I will say he was lacking a bit on the features. Now, don't say the features weren't good. They were good. It's just that there were only 2 features that I knew, and that was Future and Burna Boy. To me, he should have brought in someone from from where he was from, right? From a part of Dreamville as a whole. He should have brought in Jid, right? I'm saying right now, Jid would have been nasty on either Old Dog, Who the F is You, or even if it was one of the songs on disc 2. He would have been nice if he played. For those of you who listened to the album, you would know he did a song called "What If," and it was supposed to be a conversation between Tupac and Biggie. If they were still alive, this is how the conversation would go. I feel like Jid would definitely have been really good on that one. If he played Tupac, for instance, right? That also goes to the album. Also goes to show that how much versatile and how much of a lyricist that Cole is, right? Because I think, me personally, Cole is a way better lyricist, and in terms of technical and conscious, than Kendrick, in my opinion. That's just me. I don't know if you agree with that.
I do.
Yeah.
I think Kendrick has had better opportunities to show his technical side, in terms of in an album format, right? Because I did tell you earlier, I felt like Mr. Morale was executed from a technical standpoint better than this. But again, even the mixtape that Cole put out, before the album, That's what I was expecting some of that technical prowess on this, right? He showed that in 2-6, like 2-6 the record. 2-6.
Yeah, 2-6 he didn't do that in 2-6.
You know, but that's why I say it's execution. Like his whole career, like J. Cole's always been
he's always been
concept heavy guy.
Yeah, and then it all comes into this album, and you go in thinking I'm gonna hear everything I've heard in the last 10 years off of KOD, the off season, Might Delete Later. I'm gonna go into it and hear everything that I want to hear, and then you leave, you're like, I mean, he did do it, but not properly.
Right, and that's why I hate when they draw comparisons to Kendrick. I totally understand it, but I think Kendrick's mastered that format in terms of being the more polished artist. Cole just wants to rap. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I like Cole. He just loves and wants to rap. He doesn't care whether or not, because I've seen all of the videos after the Falloff came out, all his trunk sales and everything. He is literally just roaming the streets, playing basketball with the youths there. And it's like the difference between Kendrick and Cole, not to compare the two, because these two are very different type of rappers, but at the same time they talk about the same similar things. The thing I like about Cole and J. Cole is that, what the hell? Kendrick and Cole, my fault. The difference between the two is that Kendrick, when he's in his hometown, right, people still see him as the person it's Kendrick. He's he's a mogul, he's everything, right? Whereas J. Cole, seeing J. Cole down the street walking in his regular clothes, it's an everyday thing. So imagine you were to go to North Carolina and say, "Oh my God, it's J. Cole." Everyone's like, "Yeah, we know." Yeah, we know it's J. Cole. We saw him yesterday. We saw him yesterday. He came in, tried to buy a book and everything. Yeah, it's fine, right? No one really, I can't say no one really acts away when they see Cole, right? Because if I saw J. Cole, I'm gonna turn into a fangirl. If I see J. Cole, if I see Kendrick, I'm turning into a fangirl. I'm just gonna shout, "Kendrick! What's good, man? What's good?" So Kendrick, I'm gonna crash out, right? Whereas J. Cole, if you were to see him just walking down the street, he'd be like, "Hey, what's up, man? You good?" That's why in some of his songs he mentions that, even in 2-6, he said, some people will call me, some people will say I just bummy, right? But they know I'm humble and I'm bougie as hell, right?
Right.
He dresses in bummy clothes, but at the same time, you're it's J. Cole.
People act like he's not a millionaire, bro. He's 40 M's off, plus,
literally, right? He rides a bike anywhere he goes. He is the most low key rapper out there. He doesn't driving flashy cars, and that's what I like about the album. The album is pretty much telling us as the audience, he's like, yeah, I grew up in this type of place, right? Where everyone knows me, and where people are close to me, they don't know me as J. Cole. They just know me as my dog. What's up? They know me as the guy that grew up with me, right? And the way the album is structured too, it's like, if you've listened to it, disc 1 is called 29 Intro, or that's the name of that's actually the name of the song. But I call that's disc 1, where you see the perspective of his life as a 29-year-old, him leaving North Carolina to pursue his music and everything and live his life. That's why disc 1 is more aggressive a bit in terms of songs and everything. It's a little more he's going out in the world and seeing different types of music and everything. He gets always I'm this and that and everything, right? But the second 39 Intro starts and you listen to you start to see his reflection, and he's like, "Oh, I have a life now. I have a wife. I have 2 kids. I'm just living my life at this point, right?" And that's why, and this is just me, guys, and some of y'all gonna flame me in the comments for saying this. That's why I think the Falloff is, in my opinion, one of the best albums in the last 6 years, right? I did change my mind at first before we had this video.
I disagree.
I did. I did say it was the best album of the last 6 years, but I changed my mind. It is one of the best albums of the last 6 years. We can't confuse Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, which is my favorite Kendrick Lamar album. We can't confuse Let God Sort Them Out. That was an amazing album. Is on a level of J.Cole.
I think
Possibly, actually. I think. I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know where I was going with that. But if I had to like rank this album, I would say I would give it like. First, let me rank it through discs. Disc 1, I'm gonna give it like an 8 to like a 9. All right, but disc 2, I liked it a lot more. I'm gonna have to give it almost to a 9 to a 9.5. So as a whole, I say like a 9.7.
Yeah.
As a whole, it's definitely one of his better albums in terms of like storytelling and production wise, but in terms of execution and features, it is one of his like the least these albums. Is it on the level of Off Season? No. Off Season is still way better than the Falloff, in my opinion. Is it better than Bored Sinner? What do you think? what do you?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not better.
And I'm just being so honest. And I don't even feel like it's his best storytelling.
Yeah.
Because Friday Night Lights.
Oh,
like,
you go. Yeah, my fault. Don't listen to me.
and nah, to be fair, like I feel like his best storytelling comes from talking in third person.
Yeah.
And, like speaking about like other people's like, bro, like. Dog, like he's had so many records of like talking from the vantage point of like
of someone else,
a girl, being brutalized. Like this is what he does. Like he's so good at that. But yeah, like I'd say like the storytelling on this album is definitely good too.
Yeah.
But he just kind of like sequenced it like as a story.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I definitely appreciated like hearing some of the perspectives on it. Even what if?
Yeah, what if was tough.
It's posing a hypothetical question. But it kind of gave me comparisons of what Kendrick did on GNX too with Reincarnated.
I have seen people do that, and in my opinion, I still think J. Cole did better because even though Kendrick is like he was talking as if Tupac was reincarnated.
Fact.
Yes, but the difference is between that song and What If, J. Cole was literally speaking as Tupac and Biggie, even rapping in their style, and that's what made J. Cole. That's what made me think J. Cole was even better because in terms of that, I'm just like he's not even he's like any rapper could have just done Tupac and Biggie. He didn't even have to rap in their style, right? J. Cole went the extra mile. He rapped specifically in their style, the way they would have rapped it if they were still alive. And
which was crazy.
Which is really
from
insane.
Technical format.
Yeah, from technical form. Y'all ready to deep dive in? He was rapping not just as them, but as their flow, in their style and everything. That's what made it even hit it even harder. Because I realized this is because it felt like I was generally listening to Tupac and Biggie having this conversation. Even when Biggie was even when the Biggie was saying that I went to your bedside and I prayed for you when you got shot and stuff, right? And I'm like,
which is crazy,
which was nuts, right? I'm just like,
because it's a believable concept,
very believable,
like,
very believable.
Because like I feel like he really like did his homework in terms of like studying the outcome of things. Because Biggie was like that, like Biggie.
Yeah, he was there.
Biggie was like, even when Pac was talking his ish and being like, bro, like, super like antagonizing Biggie and his relationships and everything. Like Biggie was always like laid back. And,
you didn't want to pursue it,
and I feel like Cole also sees himself in that in terms of like his whole like relationship to Kendrick. Yeah. Right. So you can see like the parallels between.
Yeah, they're very similar parallels between Kendrick and Cole, right?
So
yeah. I definitely said the fall off. If I had to rank it amongst a bunch of all his albums, I definitely rank it B tier. It's a good album. Could have been done better. And it could have been done better in terms of expectations and everything. But in terms of production wise and like technical lyrics and everything, this is there's no lower than a B. It could be an A if there was a bit more features on it. That's literally one of my only gripes about it.
Fair enough.
But where do you rank it?
I'd also give it a B, because I was saying before too, like if I give it an A, then I'd have to say it's better or as good as Born Sinner and Forest Hills Drive. Yeah. And I just don't generally think that.
Well, Born Sinner and Forest Hills Drive, those are my S tier.
Yeah, S tier.
Those are S tier.
Yeah, I don't even think it's A tier. Like, and this not because it's like insulting or whatever.
Yeah.
I think more important than, this is why I've always been a fan of J. Cole too. More important than anything is not the ratings and the ranks, it's did your vision come across like the way it was. And that's why I always judge like artists on. Like if J. Cole told me, like we already know what the album was about. Like he explained it. He executed his version, like his vision well,
of what he wanted,
you know? But from an objective standpoint as a music listener, and as a creative, I could also be like, in terms of execution and expectations, like there's so many things that go into like making an album more than just the vision you're going for.
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
Yes, my ringtone is 1P.
I don't think it's just so hilarious. I don't think it's S tier or even A tier.
Yeah.
But yes. I think like I would have put it S tier or A tier, in terms of like musicality and everything.
Yeah.
If it was more condensed, because there's some records on there like, dude, like Bunce Road Blues, 2-6.
2-6 was nice. Poor Thing.
Like the first half of the album, I was like, bro, this is incredible.
Like they're like, this is J. Cole.
Yeah.
This is Cole.
Yeah, like even It's Lonely at the Top as a concept was super dope to me as well. So again, like it's kind of like the problems I had with Scorpion too.
Yeah.
With Drake Scorpion, right? It's like I could like if you condensed it and to where it's like you listen, you'd be like, dude from a music standpoint, this is
this is the album.
But I just feel like if you're going to do a double disc, right? There's so many factors that go into making it be a pleasurable experience for the listener.
Yeah. And
I think like in terms of like it being his last album, I really wanted him to address some things
about
like go head on, like and that's another distinctive factor that I feel like Kendrick has always done. It's he's not scared to be controversial, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing about being an artist, like it comes with risks, right?
Yeah.
But I understand why Cole does what he does. Like he's not here for that type of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kendrick's like the more risque type of artist out of all of them, and I totally understand that. And that's not to say like Kendrick has always addressed everything about his personal life. But yeah, I just felt like this being the last album for Cole,
which I don't think it is.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't think it is.
Everybody
I
says
don't
that. Yeah, but like it's like if you're the way it's presented and marketed, right? Then it has to be like, all right, man, listen, because he did some of that on Port Antonio.
Yeah.
But that was just talking about the beef. But I'm like, okay, if you've done that on Port Antonio and in some parts on the mixtape that he dropped, then here like it's got to be, like
it's gotta be addressed. And he did kind of address it on I love her again.
Yeah.
Where the entire song is he's talking about this girl who is like passed around. She was seen as like the flash type of girl. But the more you listen to it, the more you realize he's not talking about an actual girl.
Yeah.
He's talking about hip hop as a whole. He's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Personifying her? Or what's the word I'm looking for? That like you attach a word.
Metaphor.
something along the lines of that. Yeah. He made an image for hip hop, and he sees hip hop as a female, and everyone's trying to get it. Everyone's trying to get it, right? Hip hop, or the number one spot, is the place that everyone's trying to get, right? And he mentioned in the song that's why two of my homies start to beef. They start to beef because of this number one spot, and he realizes that I'm not. He's like he's trying to possess her, the number one spot, for a long time. And realized he should just let her go and let him do his own thing. Mm-hmm. Right? What the hell was that? I felt something fall in my head. But that's why I think this album, it is definitely like a nice album when it comes to like conscious rapping and everything, because he's not just addressing everything in his life and even his past life. But at the same time, it's still not better than the off season. A lot off season is like definitely one of his better albums. Definitely not better than Born Sinner or the Sideline Story. Well,
yeah, I'd say it's better than Sideline.
Huh?
I put the Falloff better than Sideline.
Okay. Yeah. What about KOD?
I don't think it's better than KOD.
KOD and Off Season. Those are the two albums that are actually that we get to see Cole where he's like at his best. Mm-hmm. Definitely. But yeah. Anyways, y'all, this has been your boy Jay. This has been Bisayo. And this has been episode 4 of The Zone. Hope y'all enjoyed me. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see y'all in another episode. Stay blessed.